Guys, you've made it. You're all the way through the program. All of the accounts that I have to talk about, we've talked about. And so in your mind, I know you've already got working. Here are the things I'm going to do in my situation. Here's how we're going to set our account up. So these added last couple of chapters are just to sort of put the bow on it. I think it's very important to save for your future, to save for retirement. It's a big passion of mine. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was 20 years old and started my first real job, my first real career type work, I guess I was trying to be what you might call sharp, or I don't know what I was trying to do. I didn't know what answer I was going to get, but I asked a gray-headed guy that had obviously been around a while, what would he do if this was his first week at work? You know, if he were starting his career all over. I think I thought I was just being kind of smart with that question and maybe endearing myself to some of the older guys. And I expected an answer like, you know, dress for success, dress for the job that you want to have, or show up early and stay late. You know, any of those trite things that you might hear. But what he said completely surprised me, completely put me back on my heels, and I never saw it coming. And what hit me most was the look of regret that I saw in this gentleman's eyes. He said this. He said, take whatever they'll let you, as much as you possibly can, and max it out and put it in your retirement. And he pointed to his hair and he said, because once you've got gray in your hair like I do, you will wish you had. I don't even remember the guy's name. All I remember is standing there stunned and thinking, well, I didn't see that coming. And I'm 20 years old and retirement has never crossed my mind, but that gentleman impacted me. So regardless of what age you are, regardless of where you are in your life, look me in the eyes. One day you will retire. One day you will slow down. You may be forced to, because of health reasons. You may do it because you want to, but one day you will slow down. So I'm asking you, set some money aside in preparation for that. I really love tax-favored retirement accounts, IRAs, SEP IRAs, Roth accounts, 401ks if you're employed. If you're getting a match, oh my goodness, please don't give away the free money and invest in your 401k. I'm not your financial advisor, so I can't tell you how to invest those dollars, but talk to somebody who understands it. I like it. I really like it. Index and passive investing, where you keep your expenses really, really low. Make sure you're completely diversified. Don't risk money beyond what you think you're going to need. So don't be too aggressive if after you look at your financial plan and run the numbers and it looks like, hey, I can be, sort of a mid-grade on my investments, not aggressive, sort of in the mid area, and still meet my goals. Good. Don't risk money you don't have to risk in the volatility of the stock market. But also, don't be so ultra aggressive that you are jumping in and out. Listen, you cannot jump in and out of the stock market. Nobody knows what the stock market's going to do. I don't care how many times you've watched CNN Money. I don't care what guru you've watched or listened to. Nobody knows. So the best thing for you to do is just to get the right investment mix, based on your risk tolerance, your time horizon, which are just two words it means. So your risk tolerance. Can you go to bed at night with your investment strategy and not be wringing your hands? If you're wringing your hands and you have no peace with either how your money's invested or you don't know how it's invested, then you need to make a change. You need to give yourself peace. Time horizon simply means the time between now and when you think you're going to need those dollars in retirement. Remember those things. No jumping in and out. Get a good diversified, I just like my money spread out over what's called asset classes. Big companies, small companies, mid-size, international, emerging markets, maybe some fixed income, REITs. Have it spread out so far so that if any asset class or any one company in your investment fails, that you have not risked everything. Some of you might be thinking, well, I've heard Apple's doing good, or I know Disney does great. I'm going to put all of my money in there because it'd be way safer in there. No, actually the inverse is true. If you have all your eggs in one basket, nothing could be more risky. So take my advice, look into your saving for your future, find a fiduciary, and that's somebody who is required by law to do what's in your best interest, and make sure you have a well diversified and, in my opinion, low fee portfolio, and have it I like what's called dollar cost averaging, where you're putting an amount in every month. Your investing needs to be so boring and so dull that it would put you to sleep, because you're just doing, if the market's up, I'm putting money in. If the market's down, I'm putting money in. And I just think for most people, for most individuals, that is the right advice for investing for the future, taking advantage in most cases of the tax favored accounts that the tax code currently calls for. So thank you for joining me for this part of the account, or for this part of the conversation, for this part of the book. I know it's not really part of the budgeting portion, but I'm so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about people being ready for their future that I felt like I could not write a financial book without talking about retirement savings and these tax favored accounts. The most important advice I can give you is to have a great accountant, especially if you're running a small business, and to have a great advisor, a certified financial planner that's a fiduciary, that's watching out for your best interests, and that you are investing every single month in a tax favored manner. That's what I like. That's what I do. And this advice is free. So what I try to do is, the reason I wrote this book is I found something that was successful for me, and I'm trying to explain to you how I do it in my personal life. So I live and breathe this part of it, and hopefully that's the right decision and the right answer for you. I'll see you next chapter.